Hey guys, this is Sarun Hai from AllAboutTechnologies, and in this video let's do a quick battery drain test between the Redmi Note 6 Pro, Asus Zenfone Max Pro M2 and Realme 2 Pro. Also guys, do hit the like button because I have put in a lot of time on this video, so please hit that like button. Now without wasting any further time, let's begin. Quick note, there were no applications on the device apart from these applications which we will use for the test. Also the devices are fully charged as you can see. Now let's start with benchmarks first to see the scores as well as to see how much battery it will consume. Eight minutes and 53 seconds later, scores are here. Redmi Note 6 Pro scored less because it is the only device to have Snapdragon 632 here compared to the 660 on the other two. Let's repeat this benchmark test twice. "26 minutes and 49 seconds later, scores are here. Also, let's check the battery drop. So the battery on the Zenfone Max Pro M2 and Redmi Note 6 Pro is at 95%, whereas it is at 92% on the Realme 2 Pro. While the difference is not much between Realme 2 Pro and the other two, I'm surprised how the battery is at same level on the two. Anyways, time to run Geekbench 4 now. We are 33 minutes into the test and Geekbench 4 scores are here. Battery drop on all the devices is just 1% after this test. Time to repeat the same two more times before we move ahead. After running the test 3 times, the scores are here. The battery on the Realme 2 Pro is now on 88%, whereas it is 92% on both the devices. Time to run PUBG now since we all play this game for at least a couple of hours a day. So let's see how much this will impact the battery on all the three devices. After 1 hour and 15 minutes of PUBG, it's time to check the battery drop. So the battery on the Realme 2 Pro is at 69%, whereas it is 79% on the Zenfone Max Pro M2 and 76% on the Redmi Note 6 Pro. Finally, there is some difference between the Redmi Note 6 Pro and the Asus Zenfone Max Pro M2. Now it's time to play YouTube videos since most of us spend a lot of time in consuming content on YouTube. At approx 2 hours and 30 minutes, I faced some internet issues due to which I had no option but to move on to an application that doesn't require internet. So let's use the camera application on all the devices, and currently I'm recording 1080p videos with the front cameras of all the three devices. 30 minutes later, it's time to close the camera application on all the devices and check the battery drop. So the battery on the Realme 2 Pro is at 53%, Zenfone Max Pro M2 has 66%, and it's 62% on the Redmi Note 6 Pro. Now that the internet connection is working, it's time to continue with YouTube for 1 hour and 30 minutes more. After 1 hour and 30 minutes of YouTube, the total time has reached 4 hours and 30 minutes. So let's check the battery drop. So the Realme 2 Pro is at 29%, Zenfone Max Pro M2 is at 50%, Redmi Note 6 Pro is at 46%, maintaining the difference of 4% with the M2. Time to open Instagram application since this is also one of the most used application by a lot of people. So let's see what happens with 1 hour of Instagram on all the devices. It's been 5 hours and 32 minutes and it's time to close the Instagram application and check the battery drop on all the devices. So let's start with Realme 2 Pro. The battery has dropped to 13% on the Realme 2 Pro, 38% on the Zenfone Max Pro M2 and 32% on the Redmi Note 6 Pro. Now the difference between the Redmi Note 6 Pro and M2 is of 6%, whereas Realme 2 Pro is having less than half the battery of the other two. Now let's run the last application on the list, which is Asphalt 8 on all the phones, and let's see how much more time these phones will last. 30 minutes later at 6 hours, I checked the battery on the Realme 2 Pro was at 2%, but 1 minute later it randomly switched off. So I decided to reboot the device to check if any battery was left. Surprisingly, the device booted up and it was stuck at lock screen for some time, and once I bypassed it, the device switched off again. So the total time Realme 2 Pro lasted was 6 hours and 3 minutes.
At
At 7 hours and 28 minutes, which is around 1 hour and 25 minutes after the Realme 2 Pro, the Redmi Note 6 Pro also gave up, making Asus Zenfone Max Pro M2 once again the battery champ in the budget segment. Total time for which Zenfone Max Pro M2 lasted is 7 hours and 57 minutes, which is approx 30 minutes more than the Redmi Note 6 Pro. So overall, all the three devices are capable of giving 1 day worth of battery life, but Redmi Note 6 Pro and Zenfone Max Pro M2 can easily give you 1+ day worth of battery. Well, that was a quick battery drain test between the three of the best phones in this budget segment. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, please hit that like button because I have put in a lot of time. Also, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe for such amazing test and comparison videos. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media networks. Links will be there in the description box. That's it guys, this is Saurabh. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.